Hello, my name's Jalise. Welcome out everybody to my NXT Takeover in Your House review. Here's the thing, everybody. This was a good pay-per-view. This was, to me, it was starting to get average, but then the last 2-3 matches really picked up this entire pay-per-view. Now, NXT Takeover in Your House started off with Shotzi Blackheart, Tegan Nox, and Mia Yim versus uh, Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Rachel. This was a 6-woman tag team match. This was an average tag team match. This is something that you should see in just regular NXT. I don't know why this started off the pay-per-view. I think this could have been like in the middle. I think the show should start off with Johnny Gargano versus Keith Lee, but to me, this was not the perfect. To me, it was just an okay match. I say the bright side: Tegan Nox pinned Dakota Kai. That was a bright side about this match. There was not much to this match. Mia Yim and Candice LeRae at the end were just like fighting with each other, and they brawled backstage, and they were gone from the match. And then Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox, they had a good team up against Rachel and Dakota Kai. And the fact is that Tegan Nox pinned Dakota Kai is a bright side about this match, but to me, it was just okay. This is not something that should be on the Takeover event. This should be saying that this is like a pre-show match for the pre-shows. But even though I love all these women and all these women are caliber athletes, but this match was not needed in my opinion. This should not have been the first match of NXT Takeover in Your House. This should not have been it. But to me, this was just there. This was an okay match. So it's a C. Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox and Mia Yim defeat Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Rachel. C match, just okay. The next match it was Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Now here's the thing: this match started off quite brutally. Finn Balor was an aggressive guy, and here's the thing: the reason why I didn't really care for this match is because Damian Priest is the jobber of NXT. He's a great athletic guy, but he's not gonna get nowhere. He's not gonna beat a Dijakovic. He's not gonna beat a Keith Lee. He's not gonna beat Finn Balor, so he's just there. He's a great talent, but they ain't gonna use him. It was a good match between Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Finn Balor landed Damian Priest onto a steel step, and Damian Priest took a nasty bump on the steel steps. And when he got back in, Damian Priest did a coup de grace to his back, hurt him, and then he did a coup de grace again. Pinfall. It was a good match. I believe this match went to what was it like 13 minutes, but overall this match was just a good match. To me, it was a B minus match. If anything, they should start off with this match, but to me, it was just there. There's no story behind this match other than Damian Priest likes to attack people from behind and always attack them, and then we all know that Finn Balor was supposed to fight Walter, but this was just a match just to save up TV time and all that stuff. To me, there was nothing special about this match, but it was a B minus to me. So Finn Balor, Damian Priest, B minus. Don't really care for it, but it was an overall good match. And then the third match was Johnny Gargano versus Keith Lee. At the beginning of this match was very, very slow. This was actually one of the longer matches of this. This was a 20-minute match. I love the heel Johnny Gargano. He has the key. Johnny Gargano, what they did in NXT, literally NXT Takeover in Your House, they literally had a house in the background, and Johnny went through a door, closed the key, and they put the key in his junk, but he's just like, oh, that's the key, because that's the key he used to whoop Keith Lee, and just to attack him with the eye. And the entire story of this match was Keith Lee was a big guy, and then Johnny Gargano was a cowardly heel, always running away from Keith Lee and all that stuff, being very scared of the man, the myth, the legend that is Keith Lee, all basking in his glory and all that stuff. But this match, it started off very slow, but it got really good after that. After, the little antics, Johnny running away, raking the eyes a lot. The story of this match was Johnny was always attacking the eye and the arm of Keith Lee. One of my favorite moments in the match is not like when Keith Lee Johnny Gargano drew to to the crowd and all this stuff, or that plexiglass that separates the wrestlers from the crowd. They did that spot, what he did to Adam Cole all those like a couple months ago, but this match was just a good match. I had a lot of fun with this match. Johnny Gargano was a great heel. There were some great moments. I loved when Johnny Gargano had Keith Lee in an armbar, and then Keith Lee was lifting Johnny Gargano with one hand, and Johnny Gargano got so freaked out he was twisting the fingers, and Keith Lee put his hand down. But it was a very entertaining match. And Johnny Gargano, I thought for sure was going to win this one. And to me, I think he should have won. I don't think the heel Johnny Gargano should have lost this one. I think Keith Lee could have took this loss and then maybe fight Adam Cole for the NXT World Championship and all that stuff. Because I do believe Johnny Gargano needed the championship more than Keith Lee, but maybe he'll get his revenge. I mean, but Johnny Gargano did everything. Like, what are they going to do if they have a rematch and all this stuff? To me, this was their great. It was a great match. And it was a good match for. It was a very good match for Keith Lee and Johnny Gargano. I mean, Johnny Gargano did super kicks repeatedly to Keith Lee's head. Could not get the job done, and then Keith Lee did a couple power bombs and then his finisher to secure the win. This was a very good match for a North American Championship. Not the best match Keith Lee ever had. Not the best match Johnny Gargano's had. It's just these two. It's not because these two don't work well together. It's just they always had better opponents. Keith Lee has Dominic Dijakovic. Johnny Gargano has Tommaso Ciampa, Andrade Cien. I mean, there's so many great things for Johnny Gargano. This is not one of his greatest matches, but it was a very, very good match. So I would give this match a B+. This was a very good match, a very North American Championship match, but I don't know what they're going to do with Johnny Gargano now. So Keith Lee, Johnny Gargano, B+, very good match. Next up was Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole. Adam Cole came in with a monster truck, with the Undisputed Era monster truck. Velveteen Dream came out in his car, then he dressed up as Negan with a bat, leather jacket, and all that shit. And it had a cinematic feel to this one. This was probably one of the first cinematic ones I actually enjoyed of WWE. I did not care for the Undertaker AJ Styles one. I don't care what people say. I did not like that match. Didn't care for the one with the Money in the Bank one where they did all cinematic. I did not like that one either. This one was a lot better. I really enjoyed it. No crappy, corny music in the background and all that stuff. It was just straight up physical violence. They had a ring outside, and it's surrounded by cars. And Moralo just says it beautifully that this reminded him of Eddie Guerrero versus John Cena, and like when they were just fighting, surrounded by cars and all that stuff. This was very similar. I mean, Tommaso, and not Tommaso Ciampa, but Adam Cole was leaving, trying to escape from Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream was getting on him. They were fire extinguishers, trash cans. I mean, everything that you could use outside, they were mostly using and all that stuff. It was a very entertaining match. At one point, Velveteen Dream gets on a ladder, but Adam Cole drew a windshield of a car, and then the Undisputed Era attacks him and all that stuff. Undisputed Era attacks Velveteen Dream before he could do a flying elbow off the top, which I would love to see, but it didn't happen. And Undisputed Era would start drawing like chairs in the ring and was going to end Velveteen Dream and all that stuff. And then, lo and behold, Dexter Lumis comes underneath the ring, beats the hell out of Undisputed Era, hits him with steel chairs, puts him in the trunk of a car, and drives off. It's fantastic. I love Dexter Lumis. He's a very interesting character. And Adam Cole's left with Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream does this elbow drop onto Adam Cole, who's sitting on a chair. I thought it was it, but no, he kicks out. Then Adam Cole, at the last ditch effort, he low blows Velveteen Dream and does the what is it called? I want to make sure I say this correctly and I don't butcher this thing. A Panama Sunrise, where they go. He's on the top rope. He goes down and he looks kind of like a pile driver onto a bunch of steel chairs, and Velveteen Dream loses. Velveteen Dream can no longer fight Adam Cole for the NXT Championship, so I don't know what they're going to do for Velveteen Dream. I don't know why they didn't give him the title. Maybe they're going to save it up because Adam Cole, we don't know what they're going to do with him with his contract expiring. There's a lot of moving parts to this, but this was a good match. I don't think this was better than the North American Championship match. This was just a good cinematic match. To me, this was a B. Not the greatest match these two could have had. I would rather see them just in the wrestling ring, and I don't think this stuff added to it all too much. I would say just get Dexter Lumis on a speeder out of there and just have them a one-on-one match. They could do something really, really great like that. But to me, this was just a good match. There was nothing special about it. There were some cool spots, but to me, I didn't really overall love it. So, Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole. Adam Cole won. We'll see what happens next. And the next match was Karrion Kross versus Tommaso Ciampa. Now, I'm going to say this. Karrion Kross, to me, should never have fought Tommaso Ciampa on his first NXT TakeOver event. To me, I would have the Karrion Kross fighting a Dominic Dijakovic or some other wrestler other than Tommaso Ciampa. I would have Tommaso Ciampa be attacked. He gets a couple of breaks, and then he comes back for another NXT TakeOver event and attacks freaking Karrion Kross and all that stuff. I would have him go for his second bout and all that stuff. But to me, the first match of them, it was good. It was entertaining. Karrion Kross was just taking the hits. He wanted to hit me, hit me. He was really liking it. To me, he's WWE's version of Lance Archer. Lance Archer, in AEW, he's kind of like similar to Karrion Kross, but Karrion Kross has a great entrance. He was dominating most of his match. They were treating Tommaso Ciampa like a jobber for the beginning, and then Tommaso Ciampa got some offense and a couple of knees to the face to Karrion Kross, his DDT to Widows, something I forgot it was called. He gets that DDT in, but eventually, Karrion Kross ends up submitting Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa gets knocked out in the cross jacket and all that stuff. Right? The Karrion Kross's finisher move. This match lasted like less than 7 minutes, and I thought it was a good match, but I'd give it a B. But to me, I don't think Tommaso Ciampa should have been the person to fight against Karrion Kross for his first NXT debut, and how Tommaso Ciampa just went out like that. I'm like, ugh. Granted, Tommaso Ciampa took a scary freaking bump on the apron when Karrion Kross just slammed him on his neck nearly. It looked brutal around the back of his back and next to his neck, but either way, it looked brutal as hell. So maybe they canceled it because of that. I don't know why. But to me, I didn't agree with the match being this short, and I don't agree with the fact that Tommaso Ciampa had to be the first victim to Karrion Kross at NXT Takeover. I would have preferred somebody else, and then maybe set up. But you could set up Tommaso Ciampa getting his revenge on Karrion Kross, eventually losing it and does not win it. But to me, this match was it was good, but I was a little bit distasteful with it, to be honest with you. But overall, good match, B. And the final match is Charlotte Flair versus Io Shirai versus Rhea Ripley. Charlotte Flair lost. That is the great thing about this. And for people who say, you don't like Charlotte Flair, I don't like Charlotte Flair being overly pushed. She's a great female wrestler. She's very good what she does in the ring. I'm not harping Charlotte Flair for her wrestling ability. I'm harping Charlotte Flair for winning titles and just losing them. What was the point of her beating Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania just to drop it to Io Shirai? Here's the thing. I love Io. I think Io's a great, fantastic wrestler. I wish her well. I want her to do a great job with the championship. But the thing is, though, I love the match also. The match was fantastic. It was an A. But the problem is the party politics, the WWE politics in the back and all that stuff during Charlotte Flair, and they're kind of distasteful and all that stuff. To me, this was a very, very good match. This was an A match. This was the only A of the match of the entire show. This was fantastic. Charlotte Flair was dominating most of the beginning of this match against Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai. Then Rhea Ripley got her moveset on Charlotte Flair. Then Io Shirai got her moveset on Charlotte Flair. I mean, Io does all these high-flying moves. She jumps off the top of like the entrance of the NXT arena, off of the house, and does a flying crossbody off the top to knock out Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley it did her finisher off the top rope to Charlotte, but Io breaks it up. Charlotte was becoming a beast. She was spearing her Rhea Ripley at the end, got her in a figure 4 leg lock or the figure 8, and at the end, Io Shirai does her finisher, lands on Rhea Ripley, not Charlotte Flair, and pins Rhea Ripley, and Charlotte Flair does not get pinned. Of course not. So Rhea Ripley gets pinned. Io Shirai is the new champion, and I gotta say this. Rhea Ripley took a nasty bump when Io did her move. Io went so fast with that move, and I swear I thought for a sec we were looking at another Billy Kidman and Chavo Guerrero scene, where the knees hit the head and you're unconscious, you get a knockout, a concussion. It kind of looked that bad. But to me, it looked like Rhea was okay. She was able to walk it off and go to the ring, but get out of the ring. But still, I'm happy for Io. This was a great match. Charlotte Flair was even using a kendo stick at one point. This was a fantastic match. I'm not harping upon this pay-per-view. I think this pay-per-view was very good. Not the best NXT takeover. I'd say this is probably one of the weakest takeovers I've seen. But overall, weakest takeover in NXT is still an A+ for WWE for their pay-per-views, the main roster, because they cannot do a good show at all ever for the pay-per-views. But NXT Takeover in your house, overall, it was a success. I would give this show a B+. This was a B+ show. It wasn't an excellent show. It was It wasn't an A show. This was a very good show. I would change the match orders of something. I would change the match timing of certain of the matches, but overall, I'm happy with this show. I was happy with the final result of it, and overall, I enjoyed what these women did in the ring. So yeah, the entire NXT and the entire NXT takeover in your house. Let me know what y'all think, everyone. Subscribe if you like. Disagree on the bomb. Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Respect my opinion. Respect yours. Where's your personal opinion, buddy, about NXT Takeover in your house? You think Io should not have won it? You think Reina should have won it? You think Charlotte should have retained? You think Johnny Gargano should have beat Keith Lee? You think Damian Priest and Finn Balor should not have been on this match? You think Chelsea Blackheart and Tegan Knox and Mia Yim should have fought Candice Ray, Dakota Kai, and Rachel? You don't think this should have happened? Let me know what y'all think, everybody. Name's Elise. However, to everybody, bye.